gone, out. FA Cup, no more. Bye-bye. No more silverware for this season. Let's go. Salam sejahtera and welcome to JomUnited. We are a Malaysian Manchester United fan channel. Yes, dengan bangganya Buatan Malaysia. If you're new to our channel, like usual, do the YouTube stuff, like, share, comment, and turn on the bell notification
Ding dong.
so you'll be notified when we go live or when we release a new video.
All right. Also, you can join our Telegram group where we discuss all things United. The link is in the bottom, so you can subscribe and join a whole bunch of United fans and discuss all the things about United, including our FA Cup defeat. But please refrain from any religious or racist overtures. I think we all don't tolerate that.
Okay, guys, reality check. Habis, like I said in the intro, Habis gone. If there was any chance for us to taste, to touch silverware, I think that was it, right? Any small, tiny glimmer of hope of us to improve and progress, I think it's pretty much gone already. Okay, so let that sink in for a moment. Okay, I know some of you might be saying, yes, Champions League, we still got the Champions League. My question to you guys sure? You sure? With that kind of performance, with a mid-table team, not a Premier League mid-table team, a bloody championship mid-table team, and then we still cannot win, we still cannot really perform to the best of our levels that we know we can. Do you really think that we can actually win or go deep into the Champions League? So that's my opening statement for you guys today. All right. So I'm going to go with Doc first. All right. Doc, maybe give us a summary in a nutshell because usually you're the positive one. So yeah, any positiveness we can actually get from the game yesterday.
Sorry, nothing much actually. I thought it was a very poor performance. The first half was pretty decent, where we should have put them away, put them to the sword. I mean, whatever it is, we are playing at home against a championship side. It's I think, sitting 7th or 8th in the table with a relatively strong squad. I think there's no excuses here. The performance was poor in the second half and extra time. I mean, we didn't take the few chances that we had. And out of the FA Cup, can have no complaints.
Okay, Syed, I was actually watching another big channel, right? So they were actually talking about the performance yesterday. Okay, they were saying that some of us fans, we are overreacting. Okay, and actually they can actually see improvements in the way we were actually playing yesterday. I mean under Ralph Rangnick. So what's your take on that? Do you actually see any progression, or do you see, like, for myself, I see regression? I see one step forward, like I say, like get on the tank, and 1 kilometer backwards. So what do you think?
I think within the game, there was a good glimpse. Like Doc said, like first half was really good. We created a lot of chances. But within the game, there was started with the progression, and then halfway, then there was a regression. But for example, like in any other season, according to like Manchester United fans, we know like sometimes we lose on FA Cup on penalties. We will say like, okay, it's fine. We lose out on FA Cup on penalties. We were unlucky on the day. But now you think, for example, our league position, our hopes in Champions League, we're already out from EFL. Middle of the season, we have a new manager. So we are in complete crisis. So that's why we are taking this FA Cup lose in a very hard way. The manner was also really hurtful because it was on penalties. But like on a normal season, for example, in our glory days, if we lose out on penalties in a FA Cup, I think it's acceptable because you're losing on penalties. But that should have not gone until the end, 120 minutes, and the penalty shootout as well. Like we should have buried the game in first half. It was easily like 4-0 or 5-0 at least. But everybody was misfiring. We were completely off in the front. I think only Sancho was the positive, I can say, because he's starting to show he's being more direct. He's dribbling, and then he scored a good goal as well. So I think only positive was Sancho last night.
Okay, and then maybe just to add on to that, right? Because they were saying that progression in the way that we were playing at one. But then bear in mind, Middlesbrough, they were like pretty much toothless in the first half. You don't see anything coming from Middlesbrough. I think they were pretty timid and they were probably scared to play, right? And then they actually grew into confidence in the second half. So maybe Raj, what do you think about that? Just to add on to what Syed mentioned.
I mean, I was the only one present during the last out of the three of us. I think I was the only one here during last show with Pijal and Arrington. I made a statement. Remember, young boys. So I think this pretty much summarizes the levels the team has got into. I mean, the problem will always be until we have Glazers, until we have whoever that is the puppet that is together with Glazers. And now Ralph Rangnick also looks like he's another puppet manager. So it's not going to improve. The CDM is the problem. Yesterday, as much as we want to slate on McTominay is not a natural CDM. And towards the second half, he went MIA. And we allowed Middlesbrough into the game. They got a goal. Okay. Another shout out to the hopeless refereeing. What Anthony Taylor is it? What's his
Anthony.
name? Yeah.
Anthony Taylor, yeah. Anthony Taylor.
Yeah, he's one of the most useless referees I've seen. It's a clear-cut handball, but they come up with all kind of new definitions of how a handball should be all of a sudden, just because the decision went against us. But whatever it is, we should have put the game to bed in the first half. That was the most important thing. Ronaldo was bad. I'm a huge Ronaldo fan, but we call a spade a spade. Ronaldo was really, really bad yesterday. And there was one of his off days. But the problem is when he has an off day, what happens to the other players? Marcus Rashford, he can post on social media that he's taking good care of his wife and all those things. Fine, that is good. That is on a personal level. As a professional footballer, you are supposed to be one of the senior players already. Marcus Rashford, how many seasons is here? He's been here since 18. What is he doing? To be very honest, Dom, I think you might be happy to hear this. I rather had Martial yesterday than the way Rashford was playing, to be completely honest. Because Rashford, the best thing is give him 10 or 15 minutes every game until he builds back his confidence, or else he starts dribbling all the way into the United stand. For what? I don't know. That's what he does most of the time. Overall, it was a very, very embarrassing performance. We played our first team and we lost to Boro. That is what I cannot accept, which shows that the core of the squad is not good enough to finish off teams. That's the problem. When one player, everyone slates Ronaldo and all. Yes, I agree, he had a bad day. All right, what happened to the others? Right, Sancho was the only, like Said said, Sancho was the only shining light there. When one player hits drop, the entire team's head drop. That's it.
Doc, what do you think? How much do you think that yesterday's performance, I mean, their ability not to finish, and of course, once that goal went in, their heads all dropped. We couldn't do anything. We can't really string anything together. How much do you think is affected by what is happening recently at United? Okay, for example, with Mason Greenwood, and also with the Lingard situation. And I'm very sure there's some unrest going on in the background. How much do you think that is actually affecting the players?
Honestly, with or without this whole crisis and all, this is how the team has been ever since the start of the season, right? It has been a Jekyll and Hyde performance. Like you said, we take one step forward and then we take 10 steps backwards. That's a problem. The inherent problem is the incompetence of the board to listen to every manager who says, look, this is what I want. And they do not give him. Ralph Rangnick wanted a CDM. He, in fact, I think Said can accept to this. He, in fact, actually recommended Zakaria to be signed. Why didn't we sign him? It's not that a next manager will come in and say we don't need a CDM. It's glaring, guys. There is no CDM in the team. That's the problem. Don't blame McTominay. I am sick and tired of blaming McTominay and Fred for the shortcomings of the board and Arnold or Ed Woodward or whoever it is. It's their shortcoming. We cannot keep blaming the players all the time.
Yeah, but yesterday was kind of a very strange thing. Like, I think our midfield was okay. I'm not saying because of Pogba, but I think McTominay was also standout yesterday. Like,
but I would still say there are problems other areas of the pitch as well. You know, I would have started Ilenga together with Sancho instead of Rashford. I would not have started with Rashford. I think Sight is frozen.
Yeah, that's why. Waiting for his comment. I wanted to ask him something. Sight, you there? Sight, you there?
Yeah. Hello. So I mentioned about Pogba and my internet cut off.
Yeah, that
I
is
wonder
the thing.
why.
This is TM.
Got injured.
You got anything?
Cancel window.
Somebody switch off my router.
Okay,
I mean,
before I go into Pogba, let me just get a question across to Doc first. All right, Doc. A lot of fans, they are like blaming Ronaldo. The senior players are Ronaldo, Bruno, okay, Rashford and whatnot. So what's your take on that? And then how do you think that for them to be clinical, to set an example. I mean, recently Ronaldo comes out and say that the youngsters, they don't listen and whatnot. Okay, so I'm sure he has somehow a responsibility to actually perform, to finish those kind of chances, so that the younglings, like for example Ilenga and whatnot, they will feel encouraged, motivated for them to perform to the next level. What's your take on that?
Yeah, can I just step back into your previous question as well? Whether the current situation United with Greenwood and all has affected the players. These players are professionals. You're getting paid to do a job, right? Whatever the situation which is not concerning you shouldn't be affecting your performance, right? They're not directly involved in the Greenwood situation. You should perform on the pitch to actually ease all the fans' thoughts, fans' worries about the current situation. Okay, that's one. Secondly, we're talking about the senior players. I think yesterday, yeah, I have to agree. When Ronaldo had a bad game, lah. Okay, but the problem is, and yesterday, I won't blame Ralph Ragnick so much. It's the players. You've got top players. Okay, your main first team playing against Middlesbrough, championship team at home in the FA Cup, under lights, right? And you produce a performance like that. Come on, their players should take responsibility for this solely. Okay, you're telling me Sancho had a good game? I think Sancho didn't have a good game. I think none of them had a good game. In fact, only when Mata came in, I would say he was actually doing something. Apart from that, everybody was in fits and starts. Okay, Ronaldo missed a penalty. He was poor. I mean, he didn't get much supply. Again, our wing backs, right, are not putting these crosses into the box. And
100
now currently, Ronaldo's 102 minutes.
Yeah, 102
minutes. I still remember the
Dalot.
first accurate
Dalot,
cross from
Dalot.
Dalo. Right?
Yeah.
That means one successful cross in probably more than
More
one
than one
game.
game.
Right? I mean, come on, lah. You're playing against a championship team. You should be at least, sure. I think they didn't put any good crosses inside. Okay.
think it was poor.
Dalo is crossing over the top. Your strikers and the center of the box is going to the far post. You need to put it in the correct areas. Okay, and that is why I would say Ronaldo's also starved the service. He's no longer that kind of runner that can run through the lines and things that he's going to go for crosses and hit it in. If nothing is coming, he can't do anything. Okay, so that's why he tends to also drop a bit deeper, trying to make some space for himself.
I think just to add, Ronaldo would love to have David Beckham at the moment in his prime.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
All he needs to
Anybody
do is
would.
stand in the box. The ball will come and fall in his feet or his head, and he just
Yeah.
converts everything.
It's just about
Yes.
putting it in the right
Correct.
area for them to challenge. But the balls are not even coming to the right area. And then for you're telling me Dalo is a good right back. Okay, he can't cross. And where was he for the goal? Where was he for the Barrow goal? I didn't see him anywhere in the picture. Where was Varane? Varane was caught in the last third of the attacking half, where there were three people around the ball, and he was beaten, and then he couldn't get back in time. So yesterday, actually, that goal, I don't blame Maguire. He was left alone. But the thing is, everybody saw the left side was open. Nobody tracked back for it. Okay, and when that ball was played across, again, no offense aside, but Pogba didn't follow his man. He was standing there appealing for penalty. You challenge for the ball first, and you question the
Yes,
decision later.
Correct.
That's what you need to do,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
If somebody should have followed him at the far post, nobody did. So these kind of mistakes against the championship man is not acceptable. You got caught on the counter by a championship team, and you couldn't create anything substantial for the whole game.
Okay, which brings us to the next question. Paul Pogba side. What do you think about the return of Paul Pogba? Is he like a new signing for us?
I think it's an old signing, but it was just a decent performance from him. But I think the first half he was quite controlling the game, not only the offensive side but also the defensive side. He was tracking back, he was winning the ball. In fact, the goal which we scored, which was assisted by Bruno, the ball was won by Paul Pogba in the middle of the pitch. I think him and McTominay was playing like with a good partnership. One was going back and one was going forward. So I think the midfield was okay yesterday. It's just like our forward three. Sancho scored a goal, but still he was not that good. But if you talk about the positive among the 11 players who started, I think only him who stood out. But we lost, I think, solely because of Ronaldo, Rashford, and Bruno. All of them missed the golden chances. I mean, like for example, the chances we created, the shots we took in the game, it was 30 shots. So 30 shots means, I mean, usually we just have like 10 or 15 shots per game. So it's like we have shot on goal like 3 games combined. we don't usually have a lot of chances that we create. So I think credit goes to Ralf Ragnick that he's putting up the team. They are showing on the field as well what they have been trained. But it's just like they are not finishing. I don't know like what's going on. It's very hard to explain. Sometimes we talk about board, sometimes we talk about manager, sometimes we talk about a player missing something. So every day, every match, there is something we have to blame, and the reasons keep on changing. Yesterday it was Ronaldo missing the penalty, Bruno missing the open goal. They are not these players who usually do this stuff. Like they should easily score the goal which they missed last night. So every day there is something wrong. I don't know like what's happening in our club. It's like it's very hard to explain. It's just like they are not in the right mind. Sometimes it's a manager fault, sometimes it's a substitution wrong. Yesterday everything was right. 60 minutes we should have won the game 5-0, but it's just like bad day or bad luck. There's something wrong in our club which is really hard to explain for now.
Okay, we got
Everybody said, right, Ole couldn't convey whatever ideas he had to his players, right? And that's the reason for everybody was, passing a lot of comments to Ole. Oh, he cannot, maybe he understands what he wants to do, but he cannot convey to his players are not performing. Now you got Ralf Ragnick, who he himself at the coaching clinic said that the key is for the manager to be able to transfer his idea of football for his players, correct?
Yes.
And that's what the elevator speech that caught us all, and me as well. And that is why for me, I'm not blaming him, but I'm very frustrated, okay? Because it's already, going to be 3 months since he took over, right?
But
I don't see any identity
yesterday was
of his football.
But the
yesterday
thing is, like, bro,
no, but yesterday
Ralph
like
Ragnick.
what do you
Okay,
what do you
sorry, go
think? Yeah, sorry.
Go with
What do you-
Sai, go first.
yeah, what do you think Ralph should have done yesterday?
I think
Let's go. Yeah, sorry, Dom, go ahead first.
let me just answer first. I think he did the best of his abilities. I mean, our bench.
Available
look at our
resources.
bench.
Yeah,
our
available
resources, our
resources.
bench.
Yeah.
Like, what can he actually do? And then also, okay, Nema, you just add on to this because I want to, Doc, you add on. Later, I'll read another comment. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, so I think, right, okay, first of all, what is happening on the training pitch? Let's take a step back before going into the game, okay? We started with gegenpressing. Don't tell me we've got these kind of world-class players and they can only perform 15 minutes every game. That's what we are saying, right? Oh, we saw some gegenpressing for 15
To
minutes.
be honest, Doc,
It's a
that is the truth.
90-minute game and we are only playing for 15 minutes. What the hell? We have got such a strong, supposed to be world-class players who can only perform for 15 minutes. Whole second half was flat. Whole extra time was flat, right? Come on, and you're playing a championship team. He's not even a premiership
That's a
team.
mentality. That's the mentality of the players. The coach trained the players, and players put the performance which resulted in 30 shots, right, yesterday. But they couldn't finish, and after 60 minutes, they all switch off. The manager is not telling them to switch off.
Let's not look
So
at
it's the
30
players.
shots, Lasai. 30 shots. How many times had the keeper really make a very difficult save?
Again,
Everything
But
was
still,
straight to him.
they were knocking the door. They were knocking the door. They were going
But
forward.
Said,
Everything
again.
was there.
Said, again, first half, the first 45 minutes and whatnot, right? Middlesbrough, they were very timid. They were not doing anything at all. So I think somehow, if just say we are playing a more competent team or maybe a mid-table team in the Premier League, then yes, I would agree with you. Totally agree with you on that. But again, how Middlesbrough was playing in the first half, they were not doing anything. They were not attacking. They were just staying back and just pretty much in their half. They were just open for attacks and whatnot. So we can't really say that. We are actually improving tactical wise and the players are actually doing something. Right?
So that's why the question was like,
I don't
what
see
Ralph
Sai.
should have done.
I don't see a distinct style of play. Like we always say, other Ole got no style of play, individual brilliance. Can you tell me what is our style now? I don't see it.
Because we
Gegenpressing?
started
No.
with 4-2-2-2 and then we changed.
It doesn't matter. The gegenpressing is not happening. Your wing back was somebody crossing, really pulling everybody crossing to the box, not happening. There's nothing really happening.
Does it makes you question why this is happening? So which brings us to
Problem
the
is,
next
Doc,
comment.
sometimes, right, the quality of the players that he had at his disposal. You see, one Bisaka can't cross to save his life. On the other hand, Dalo crosses to the fans in the stands. So it is two bipolar opposites. You can't get a proper player who can actually get the job done. That is the problem. He
Okay.
actually
Then
started with a
where's the coaching?
4-2-2-2.
Then where's the coaching wrong? Raj?
4-2-2-2.
There must be some coaching changes. Okay, you cannot be going on the players cannot improve at all. If they're not improving at all without proper coaching, then they should be dumped. I mean, okay, whatever said and done, there's the argument that Klopp took 3 years, correct? Or Pep didn't do it in his first year, correct? But their teams performed. Okay, look at Tuchel. Tuchel took over, and you could immediately see the idea of his football in about 6 or 7 games. The idea of his football, right? Okay,
because the quality of players that Tuchel had at his disposal compared to what we have at our disposal are polar opposites. Come on.
Yeah,
but only 2 months.
We've got
only 2
Rashford,
months.
we've got Greenwood, we've
Yes.
got Ronaldo, okay? We've got Sancho. These are all
We don't have a proper midfield, bro. We have a midfield that is tilted one-sided. We don't have the defensive side of a midfield.
Guys, I got some comments. Let me read
Yeah.
some comments. Some interesting comments here, right? So, okay, we got a comment here by Justin Shaw. Sean, what can Ralph do? I don't think it's him. It's the player's golden chance
Obviously.
to penalty and open goal miss. How is Ralph to be blamed, though? All right.
Yes.
On the other hand, we have Brian Lee. The question is, what has Ralph Rangnick done besides speaking well during press conferences? Do we need to look at the bench when we are against Marlborough? Are you all joking? Okay, wait. What can Ralph Rangnick do? What the hell he has done so far? And another comment. Players also cannot manage. What give you the rights to even have the ability to consult? Brian, first and foremost, chill, bro, because we missed the Joker side of you, So you got us off shot. I mean, being so serious and whatnot. But yeah, it's actually I kind of like see both sides of these comments by both of them. I really question. Do you really think that actually Ralph Rangnick is like doing 100% his job scope of managing the place, or is he trying to fix something in the background? I think there's more going on than him just to manage the players and what. There's a lot of mess in the background, and then maybe he's not, maybe he's not given the authority and whatnot to actually do what he's supposed to do. Raj, go ahead, Raj.
The difference between Tuchel, like what Doc brought up, the difference between Tuchel and Ralph. Tuchel, when he took over from Lampard, the players were already there. He had players who are defensive, he had players who are offensive. All that was missing in Chelsea was a proper striker. So he made proper use of the attacking midfielders, and he created a team which can go on to win the Champions League. That is Tuchel. We have players. If you put us on a penimbang, or what do you call that in English? I can't.
Weigh scale,
right? Our attacking will be like this. Our defense will be totally like this. There's no balance.
Right
So
now,
the only time was a mess for 5 years.
But right now, with our attacks, I think it's somehow like the timbang also rosa already.
Now the problem is we have start to strengthen the defense.
Now we have keepers, 4 keepers.
And we forget how to attack. And to be completely honest, Dog, you might love to hear this. I think Dean Anderson could have sat with the fans in the stand instead of being there for the penalty shootouts. I don't know what he was doing for all 8 penalties that was there. To be completely honest.
I apologize to David De Gea for questioning his ability to save penalties, because I see it as well.
That is what I wanted to hear. Lucky this is recorded.
He was doing exactly what De Gea does.
But I think both are same for penalty shootout. We are the worst team.
It's crap.
I think
De Gea has saved 3 penalties this season. Just
Tom Heaton next.
But penalty shootout.
Tom Heaton.
Even before De Gea, I think we have lost 8 out of 9 penalty shootout in Manchester United, like in recent times. So we are not good in penalties. I don't think I want to see penalty shootout again. It's like we are already done with penalty
How
shootout.
many games we have lost on penalty shootouts?
Brian's comment just now about Ralph's press conferences, post-match press conferences. Can I just say that his analysis in the post-match conferences are spot on. Normally, if you look at his post-match conference, whatever he says, right, it's spot on. So that means tactically, right, he's got it. Now, where is the problem? He cannot fix it, or his players cannot fix it on the pitch, despite being given proper instructions. Right?
The players are not good enough, including Ronaldo.
To be honest, what I see is really no proper style of play. To be honest.
Correct.
I think there's more going behind in the background. Okay, we got a comment here by Dave Chong. Feel like the board want to keep the fund for permanent next managers, so no recruitment in the winter transfer. Okay, this one, let me take this, guys. All right, if just say we are Manchester City or a Chelsea and whatnot, okay, yes, I'll give you a benefit of a doubt for this one. But we are Manchester United, okay? From our track record, when Ole got sacked, right, we didn't have a contingency plan. We actually dragged his stay, and then this damage, this loss and whatnot, okay, it's accumulated from that. I think way back also, all started from the the decisions that the board made. Okay, and then we got another comment here by the moderator, all right? Get Rice 100 million CDM settled. Okay, one of the reasons why we actually got Ralph Ragnick is his ability to scout young, talented, unknown players, right? Why don't we take advantage of that knowledge? Okay, why don't we do that? Why are we repeating the
did,
same
right?
mistakes? Why? I mean, right now, with Zakaria and whatnot, but then the players didn't come in. You see, why don't we take advantage of that in United? Okay, yes, he's an interim manager and whatnot. He's only here for 6 months, but this is something that we really need. Regardless, whoever comes in, we need a midfielder. Why not get it done now? An 8 million signing and whatnot is not a risk at all. Okay, 100 million for Rice. Okay, the only Rice that we are going to get is the 5 kg bag of rice. You can draw the face of Declan Rice, you hug him, you put in a United jersey. That is your Declan Rice. We are not going to get a Declan Rice for sure. If we do get a Declan Rice for 100 million, 80 million, or however much they rate him, right? How about the other spots that is going to be empty in the next season? I'm actually very, very, very worried. There will be so much holes. We are like under Sir Alex Ferguson, maybe we are a bloody cruise ship. We are bloody huge, and then over time, right, we are downgrading, and then to a point whereby we are a motorboat. Motorboat, and then now, right, and then we get a captain to steer the motorboat. What we are trying to do now, we are giving away our engine and whatnot. We are even peeling off the wood and
we are
giving the wood, and
with the whole
we are
now, to be
sinking.
honest.
Yeah, we are sinking, and then no, it's fine. You want some more passengers? Get on board. That is what is happening with our club now. So this is the way that I see it now, So it really,
Marshall was the engine or the plank?
Oh, Marshall was the cruise ship, man. He was the bloody cruise ship, man. You see, you gave the cruise ship away immediately. Downgrade sampan bagi you. You see, so but to be honest lah. So this is, I think, like you all mentioned, Ralph Ragnick. Yeah, his ability to have his point across to the players and one. I think there's more going behind the scenes. If I think we rewind to 3 months ago and whatnot, you ask Ralph Ragnick whether he want to come and take over this job as an interim manager, I think he will have second thoughts. Probably he wouldn't have come anyway. So that's my take on this. I actually prepared this because I was thinking, I was so depressed today whole day. I was actually thinking about all this kind of stuff. Right. Okay, so wait, comment by Brian Lee. Ralph demand before being manager is he would want to be among the board to consult. Muppets, players cannot control one, players cannot buy. Might as well keep Oli or Jose. That is the thing. So I think we are we are trapped in this zone, twilight zone, right? Whereby we are appointing puppets and puppets. You can have the best manager or whatever. They can't do what they're supposed to do. So I think it's unfair to maybe judge Ralph.
In all honesty, if Jose was around yesterday, Jose would, after the 1-0 towards the end, he would have actually built a fortress in front of the midfield and say, okay, we're going to defend our lives until the 90th minute. I would have got the job done.
But let's put this in perspective again. This is not even a premiership game.
Correct.
It's not even a premiership opposition. This is not a European game with top European opposition. This is a FA Cup against a championship squad, a championship team playing at home with all your class players. There should be no excuse, manager or players. You have just too much of quality for the players, for the championship players. You should have blown them off the pitch by halftime. 3-0, 4-0, finish. Rest some players, get ready for the next game in 3 days. That's about it. Here, we played our strongest team. Okay, we couldn't win the game in normal time. We went to extra time and lost in penalties. What will that do for our next game mentality? Looking at our players, already mentality is so poor, right? Next game, it's going to be even worse. Out of the FA Cup, now only two trophies to fight for. Let me take that back. 1 trophy to fight for and 1 fourth place finish to fight for. I mean,
only the 4th place to fight for.
Come on, dog. Come on. Don't lie to the kids. We have 12-year-olds watching us. Don't lie to the kids.
We still got the GOAT, and Champions League. He's a different machine, lah. So
come on,
you never know, lah.
No, come on, lah.
But again, what is the reason we lost the game yesterday? It's not about manager, it's not about board. It's about the players who didn't score the goals. The chances were there. The performance was there. We should have scored more goals.
The performance
I
was
know, like
not
after
there, Syed.
I
The
know.
performance
After
was
60
not
minutes we
there.
switch off. Yeah, after 60 minutes
Right?
we
You're
switched
talking
off.
about
But
a championship team, and you can only perform for half an hour, 40 minutes. And you tell
but
me
it's the FA
Pogba had a
Cup.
great game. He didn't have a great game. McTominay
No,
didn't have a great game. Bruno didn't
I
have a
think,
great game. Ronaldo was poor. Everybody was poor.
but
The
still we
only
created
player who probably
chances.
did anything was probably Dean Anderson in normal time and extra time. He made a couple of saves. And
Yeah.
Mata, I think apart from that, nobody, Mata when he came in, at least he was all over the pitch. He was dominating possession. He was making those passes. Where did we see any of the other players do that whole game? And
I think
Bruno
Sancho.
open goal,
I think
Bruno
Sancho
open
was
goal.
actually.
You can't miss that, lah. Come on, it's an open goal. How did he
He's
hit the post?
He's curling it to the left when the right hand side is so big, wide open.
Yeah,
I
all he had to
seriously
do is
think
finish
that's fine.
straight. It was pure. It was nice and open. You don't have to put it in the corner. Just put it in the damn center, and you won the game already.
Yeah.
Okay.
No excuses for the performance yesterday. I'm so sorry, but yesterday playing a championship team, no excuses.
So
And
the
probably
question is,
Maguire will come up with his, next with his social media post. Don't worry, guys. I know bad game yesterday. We'll do the best in the next game. I see that, but I will, really that guy should stop all this rubbish. Just focus on playing on the pitch.
okay, so Syed, now what do us fans, right? What do we have to look forward to moving forward? Would you
think
like
watch the-
consider like writing
watch
off
the
this
game.
season, or
Yeah, I think I already write off the season. I think in my previous 2 episodes.
Is there
where
anything
I-
left in
there
this
are
season?
There's nothing left. I think we just watch the match without any expectation. If you watch the game with any expectation, then I think we are hurting ourselves.
okay? You
We are
got comment
United
here.
fans. We need to back our team, and definitely we will give them crap when they play crap like this, right? But I will still back them to do something. Until there's no write off a season for me, okay? But if they play like this, then they deserve to get slaughtered.
Brian Lee is being very serious today, lah. Okay, so find someone who
I
can
can't
do a
take
good
it, lah.
job. Yeah, I cannot. Brian, what happened? Your PC, your laptop gonna hack or something like that. So find someone who can do a good job. Appoint another manager, not good, then change until we find a manager can utilize our players. This is what has been happening for how many cycles already? I think most of us, I think Raj, I think you actually pointed out on this one much earlier. You said that this is a vicious cycle. It will just go on and on and on and on, and then we are again at the start of a new cycle, and then things are getting toxic again.
New cycle will start, manager will come in, and then we will have finished second, and then the next season the whole sky will fall, the whole ceiling will fall over us, and it will go trembling down again, and another manager will come, and this will go on and on. Because the problem is, okay, let me give a metaphor, right? You injured your head, but you are wrapping your knee. That's what we are doing. You're not reading the root of the problem here.
Because we are signing the player for social media. We are signing the player for for selling number 7 shirt.
The board is not giving the manager the freedom on who he wants to keep and who he wants to leave. That last day incident with Jesse Lingard has now caused a problem within the dressing room and with the manager. If people don't realize this, I don't know what to say. Because Ralf Rangnick doesn't want him. The board wants to keep him. Part of the reason, okay, probably the Mason incident, but more than that is because the kids love him and he sells merchandise. That is the more marketable reason for that.
And when Ralf Rangnick substitute Ronaldo, then the media and headlines is like, okay, Ronaldo is unhappy, and the reaction is there. So we are signing celebrities, we are creating celebrities, we are not creating footballers.
Yeah, we could maybe in 3 days' time we will go on to beat Burnley with Ronaldo scoring the winner and all, and he will go and do his celebration, and people will record that and blow it up all over social media again and again and again and say we are back and all those things. And then you fast forward to a few more games, it's going to be the same old vicious cycle. It's the same old cycle. Until we don't change the root, this thing is going to go on and on.
I think in terms of the Lingard one, I think we had really no choice, to be honest, if you ask me, because Marshall had already signed for Sevilla, I think, right, at that point of time where the Greenwood's case came up, and then there was no choice but to keep Lingard, because then you have you have no replacements already on your bench.
No, Doc. Yeah. I don't think that decision was made due to footballing reasons. They were actually trying to negotiate with Newcastle. That apparently, if just say they were not relegated, they have to pay United like 10 million, 12 million. They are trying to get some money because Lingard is going to leave as a free agent, so they're trying to get as much
and
money as
everybody
possible.
knows Newcastle now got money lah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's
trying to
the
milk
thing.
them for as much as we can.
The thing
I
is,
think it's
Newcastle, even if Newcastle got money, they don't do dumb investments like buying 80 million defender.
I was just going to say that you took the words
Yeah.
right out of my mouth lah. We are trying to do the same, but obviously no
Correct.
board is as bad as ours lah.
Again, with the Ralph Rangnick thing, I think if we want to see any improvements of changes or whatnot, we got to start trusting the manager. I still don't think we have seen the full capability of Ralph Rangnick. I don't think he's so much of just a person talking and whatnot. There's probably more to this. There's more to this. It's just that his hands are tied. He can't really do much. And then there's
Yeah,
so
but
much
again,
drama
Dom-
and crap going on in the background.
Yeah, but again, Dom, we're talking about an interim manager who's got 6 months. So when are we going to see his ideas come into place? In the 5th month or with 6-month reign? So I mean, you knew coming in you've got 6 months, right? So whatever ideas that you want to make the team do has to come quickly within the first or second month. Otherwise, you won't achieve whatever results you set out to do in the 6 months. It's not
But
like
Doc,
Klopp had, well, he's got a full-term manager. He's got all the time in the world to build his squad, build his players. Now, Ralph as interim doesn't have that luxury of time. He's
but
got
Doc,
only
he's not a magician. He's a human. Like, give him some time. 2 months is like too early to say.
exactly. Side, that's my question. How much time?
Yeah.
Because he's only got 6 months. So what is
so
his
up-
exact role?
So
Yeah.
6 months is to save the season, just pass on the season, and then he has a real job to do, which is the board of director or whatever. the
Correct. So
chairman
if
or something
he
he's
is
going
to
do.
save the season, then whatever his tactics and all has to be transmitted to the squad by now, not at
But-
the end of 4 months or
but
5
if
months.
we
He's
have-
got 6 months.
But if
That's
we
it.
have 37 and 36 or 35-year-old forward, then how he can put his ideas on the pitch? These players are
That-
not made for gegenpressing. They don't have legs to run. You can't
That
expect
is his
Ronaldo
job.
or Cavani
That
to
is
do the
his
running.
job to figure out what to do then. Because he's now don't
Then-
have the power
because he didn't-
to build the squad.
and then he
doesn't
didn't
have that
sign.
luxury of time. So what
Yeah.
time
It's
are we
not
talking
he
about?
didn't sign. He wanted to, but then it wasn't approved. I think he was offered Zakaria
Yes.
and also
Yes, yes.
Kamara also, right?
Yeah.
So admin Gombak Dom, then bila Ralph not show his capability, he only has 6 months. I mean
Yeah,
in general,
exactly.
not only Ralph, in general, whichever manager that comes in, you can bring Doc, if just say you can bring a manager in, okay, don't say Ole, who would you bring in right now?
Ole.
Well, right now,
I mean,
if
like,
you're talking,
it wasn't Ralph or whatever, who would you bring in?
you're talking
Correct.
about the managers who are available or who are or
Whatever,
just my
you can
dream
bring-
manager.
You can bring back Ferguson also if you want. Sir likes Ferguson. you can bring also.
Also, bro, no problem.
I think if right now you would offer me a choice, probably Pep, Klopp, or maybe the guy who was manager of Bayern last
Derek.
season. No,
Nichols-
last
no,
season.
no, no.
Now
not
taken over
Nichols,
the national team, right?
Joachim
That
Low.
guy was quite good as well. But
I think-
if you're asking me about the current choices, if you ask me, I think within Poch and even Ten Hag, I got no confidence. Poch
No, I
couldn't do
think-
much at Spurs.
I think Doc,
Ten
Doc,
Hag is new.
Doc, my humble opinion, I think with how the board is handling things right now, you get a combination of those three managers to sit down, it will be the same shit also. My honest
Yeah,
opinion. It's going to be
probably.
the same shit as well.
Probably. Yeah, you may be
So,
right.
That's why I think the frustration on Ralph, right? Yeah, I know. Many are frustrated and whatnot. I don't think it's it's channeled properly at the right people. I think. I don't think it's the manager's fault. Again, yeah, maybe he could have done better. Maybe he talks more. There's no action. He's talking only. But whatever it is, I really think it comes down to the board. You can have the best managers, a combination of them or whoever. We are going to see the same crap over and over again. So that's why I'm really, really very, very frustrated. Okay, wait.
Yeah, but again, Dom, you're talking about board is one thing. Board and whatever is going on is one thing. What about the players? What about the
Yes.
players on the pitch?
Yes.
Don't they have
Yes.
that kind of determination, that kind of thing to do well?
Again, the players. Okay, many would compare, like Chelsea and United when Tuchel take over and whatnot. I think the mentality of the Chelsea players, they are there. They want to win something. Where else, what we have manja pots in our team.
So
We
we
have
have
so
players
many-
with
we have
no
so
So
many-
mentality.
where is that elite mentality, legend, gold player we signed?
Yeah, that's what.
You
That's why
know-
he's complaining. His other players are not listening to him, right? So
Where is-
our players have got no mentality. Our players have got no tactical nuance. Okay?
No legend,
Our players
no-
have got nothing.
No one to look
Right.
upon. Yeah, there is no leader in the team as well.
Exactly. So we are pretty much screwed, lah. That's the conclusion,
Yeah.
guys. So that's the episode for today.
We have the players. We have the players for social media engagement. We have the players to post Instagram stories. We have the players to sell the link, click the mega link and buy a store or something. We have only these players.
So yeah, so that's the situation we are in right now, lah. Okay, so guys, a quick one, before we end this, like round robin, before it gets any more toxic and more negative and whatnot. Man of the match, Syed. Who's your man of the match?
I think you can see I put Juan Mata for my man of the match because I
Juan
think like
Mata.
yeah he deserves credit to still play football after a long time. He was not rusty. He was even like running and doing something. So I think Mata was man of the match for me.
Okay, Doc, how about you? Man of the match.
Yeah, even actually I also voted for Mata just to show that all the rest of the other players in the pitch were pure crap. Okay, pure rotten rubbish. Okay, actually when Mata came in, he actually made a bit of difference. At least you could see he was really trying, moving the ball around, trying to find some gaps. Nobody else performed like consistently for 90 minutes or 120 minutes.
Okay, Raj, how about you, Raj?
Anthony Tyler.
Villain, he was the villain. All right,
No,
guys, I
he-
think we
he
are.
gave us a good slap on the face, lah, bro. That's why.
But I think
That's
he,
the
in a way,
reason
he
we're talking
exposes
Yeah.
the players and whatnot, like, the mentality of the players. Like when they, I mean, yeah, it shouldn't have been a goal, but then hits drop and whatnot. They couldn't do anything after that. Like. So yeah, so maybe it's a wake up call for all of us fans. Manage
Yeah.
your expectations. Okay, whatever that we are going through right now, it probably could get worse than this. Like. So yeah, so
Correct.
just hang in there. All right, guys, like usual, please like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video. All right, good night.